All right, so let's talk about victim mentality, right? Now, first of all, we have to define what victim mentality even is, right? Victim mentality is the feeling of the world being against you, of people in the world being against you, of your parents being against you. It's about viewing yourself as a victim of everything around you. The reason why you're not doing well is because of the people around you. The reason why you are not succeeding is because of the universe or how God is working and He's not really providing you with what you need, right? When you are stuck in victim mentality, just know that you're stuck in one of the lowest vibrations known to mankind. And that is because you are placing all your attention on out of your control, right? There are some things which are in your control, there are some things which are out of your control. But when you place your attention on this victim mentality, you basically give up your control. And in a way, you become hopeless of what is there to come because you think, even though I can do this, there's something on the external which is still gonna affect what I'm doing. And it's all gonna go to shit, right? Well, that is the underlying thoughts that you have when you have victim mentality, right? Now, if you identify with having these thoughts, the first thing I want you to do, right, is the first thing I want you to do is to stop identifying with these thoughts and feelings. The more you say that the thought you have of this sort of victim mindset, the more you place that, that's my voice, that's me talking, the more you identify with it. The more you identify with it, the more you believe it. And the more you believe it, the more you start acting from that place, right? What do you think this way? Let's say this is you, right? This is your brain. And what happens is you get thoughts of victim mentality, right? Now, bear in mind, these thoughts, these are not you, but the brain, you could argue, is like you in this situation, right? What you need to do is instead of identifying with that, you need to focus your attention back to your awareness of the brain, right? Now, the way I can explain this is that when you are experiencing anything, when you're experiencing your body, when you're experiencing your senses, there's always something that causes you to experience them, right? There's always this underlying experience that comes when you are experiencing anything. So, for example, I'm thinking a thought, right? The thing is, when I'm thinking a thought and I'm not thinking a thought, there's always some sort of experience going on of that thing happening. And that is your consciousness, right? So the mere thing which you got to do is to bring your attention back to your awareness, back to your consciousness, so that you don't get identified and entangled within the thoughts which you have in your mind. Now, one of the most common things which I've seen is that most people get demonized for having like a victim mentality. And the thing is, this is a common mistake which most people make, right? They tend to demonize people with a victim mentality. But what we are trying to learn on this channel right here, we are not trying to sort of push these feelings away. We're trying to welcome them, not in a way of let's keep it that way. We're trying to welcome them and then see them for what they are, right? So there's always a reason why you are having the thoughts of victim mentality. And most of the time, this is just how you've been conditioned in your childhood to act. And when you see that, that becomes your default state of operation, right? So the way you were treated in childhood, you would get certain thoughts and feelings to kind of protect yourself in that situation. So you get the same thing here. You might get thoughts of being like a victim, but it's not to self-sabotage, it's to sort of protect you from whatever is going on right now, right? And that's just basically how you used to operate when you were a kid. And so first thing I want you to do is don't demonize, even if you have victim mentality, because I had that as well. Don't demonize it, right? Because what I used to do is when I used to hear online or when people say victim mentality is bad, you shouldn't be having it, I used to view myself as a bad person for having it. And then what that used to cause is I used to feel bad for having victim mentality. But then I still have victim mentality and that made me feel bad. But then I felt bad because I had it. And it was just like an endless cycle of feeling bad. So instead of running away from it or instead of demonizing it, what we need to do is we need to accept it and then we need to deal with it as a consequence, right? And another example I'm going to leave you with in this video is by Eckhart Tolle, right? I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing the name right, to be honest, but I've read a book. Wait, let me just... It's right here, The Power of Now. I've just basically picked it up a few months ago and I've been reading it. It's really nice. But an example which I don't think is in a book, it's in like one of his videos. Eckhart Tolle, he said that suffering, when you look around you, suffering doesn't exist outside. So let me just give you like a clear example right here. So let's say this is you, right? You view the world from your eyes. There is no, let's say this is the outside world. There is no suffering on the outside. It's just like things. And the example he gave is that the pain that you feel is only inside the bag of skin. The thoughts and the feelings and the sensations is inside of you. It's inside of this like body. It's inside of this bag of skin. That's what he used as an example. And I think it is true. When you are in like a sad mood or in like a depressed mood, you see everything else around you in that same way. So it's basically critical to sort of remember that even though things can be bad, but they are good on the outside, it's basically like neutral. You can choose to put a meaning on it. Just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean it's the same on the outside as well. If you enjoyed watching the topic of this video, you can make sure to like, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? I don't really say a lot, but it really helps. And what you can do is there's going to be a link in the description, and there's going to be a one-to-one call with me. So if you want to book that one, and we can talk about the same things, and we can talk about the patterns which are sort of sabotaging your own life in a way, we can talk about them. So you can do that. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.